Yeah. You gotta work. You gotta work, grind, shine, it's mine. Gotta show everybody it's my time. Getting here, you gotta work, grind, shine. Never mind who talking down, cause they lying. Don't talk, you gotta work.
Welcome to Let's Talk with Carl Lee. Let's Talk is proudly presented by attorney Frank Walker. Real talk, real experience, real results. FrankWalkerLaw.com. Let the conversation begin on Let's Talk.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Carl Lee with Let's Talk, and I have in the building Lisa Otey, the football queen.
Hello.
I got in, also in studio, I got Hollis Lewis.
Hello, hello.
I used to have to fire Lisa before we even get on the show.
Well, let me say this. If anybody that's listening could have heard the conversations between my two co-hosts before the show, they would know that I'm firing both of them tonight. Both of them.
Well, you would have the right to do that.
You got to fire him because my point was correct.
She would fire you.
Okay, let's go.
We'll talk
We'll
about
talk about that at the show or in between the breaks.
Yeah.
NBA basketball.
NBA championship
basketball.
Finals.
So for me, starting with understanding, like, how do I get into a game? What is it going to cost me to get to the game? Can I afford to get to the game?
The answer is no.
Absolutely not.
Okay, before we even give any numbers, my question becomes, like, is it specifically, are those types of games specifically for former athletes, people that are rich, people that can afford to pay that kind of money for the game? Do they even care that the average individual cannot get into that game? Even if he took off a week just in order to get to wherever he needed to get to, he can't get into the game.
I don't think so. I would say it's for corporate, right? It's for your corporate sponsors, for your big wigs. It's a time and opportunity for them to be at the game. But I also would say that I think sports leagues, because I believe we talked about this with the Super Bowl and also the national championship, I just believe that it's just a big missed opportunity. Like, how great would it be for, like, the average fan to be able to afford those tickets? I mean, we'll quote the prices here in a minute, but it's ludicrous. I mean, you have to take a ball against your 401k.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Take out cash and some stocks in order for these tickets.
And to your point, Hollis, that fan that has followed you all year long, living and dying on you winning and losing.
Yeah.
Compared to the person who's going to the Super Bowl, which could be it may not even be the teams. They may not care about either one of the teams. They're just going to go. They're just going to go because it's a Super Bowl and they have the finances to go.
Yeah, and like I said, I think there's definitely a place for events like this for your corporate big dogs, your politicians, your officials and celebrities. It's definitely a place for them, and you definitely want them there. But there's also a place where, hey, a $200-$300 ticket should be, marketed and specifically marketed to that average fan to allow them to come to the game as well.
But when it comes to Super Bowl or the NBA Finals, or they're going to milk as much money out of that limited commodity as possible. I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, if you'd like for me to, I can quote some of these prices I looked up today. And it depends on the venue. We know that it's they just finished the series in San Antonio. Now they'll travel to Madison Square Garden. The prices are significantly different for the Spurs series as it's going to be in New York. So in San Antonio, the prices to walk in, just to get in prices, you can get a ticket for $800, which is that's not
in
too
San Antonio?
horrible. That's in San Antonio.
Okay.
up to $1,750. Those are get-in prices. Okay,
And that's probably nosebleeds.
I'm sure.
that's probably
I'm sure
okay.
that's what get-in prices include. You
Gotcha.
know, just the bad. You know, the
And that's before popcorn.
cheap seats. Oh,
something
yeah.
to drink.
Absolutely. That's just a walk-in.
Yes.
Okay, but when you go to Madison Square Garden starting tonight, your get-in prices are $5,000 a ticket to $9,000 a ticket.
Crazy.
If you want courtside VIP, doesn't matter whether you're in San Antonio or you're in New York. Doesn't matter. The prices run $50,000 a ticket. Those are the cheap seats, the courtyard or the courtside.
The cheap courtside.
Cheap. Well, that's just courtside. That's
Okay.
the cheapest ticket you can get to sit courtside is $50,000. Okay, and it can run up to, depending on what experience you want, probably what you want included, up to $200,000 or more per ticket.
I just hate everything about that. Yeah.
Now we know why we see like Taylor Swift sitting courtside and not Hollis Lewis
Or me.
or Carl Lee.
I'm with you, Hollis, because understanding that the NBA, the NFL, these organizations are well funded.
Yeah.
And
That's a good point.
they're well funded. Players are already, they've got a contract, so they're fine. What and where is the money? Who actually is taking the money? The news, is it like, okay, so is it ABC, NBC?
I think to your point, Lisa, it's one of those opportunities. If you're a management team owner, you're just looking at, hey, this is an opportunity where we can probably make as much money on these 2 or 3 games we're going to host as opposed to 50 games in the regular season. So
Right.
I think it's they would probably mark it up as business. And again, I ain't got no problem with that necessarily, but I would also say long term, give the average fan an experience. I just think it ought to be something where I'm saying, if I'm it's like and I forget, I want to say maybe it's the Atlanta Braves or Falcons, or it's a NFL team, and maybe even the Houston Texans, but the owner specifically did something where he made the price of food affordable. So you're going to get like a $2 hot dog, a $5 beer. You're not going to go and have to bust the bank in order to like eat once you get to the game. And I think that sort of sentiment ought to play itself out in some capacity. You know what I mean? In some capacity.
When is it in sports and any specific sport have we made enough money, to your point, to be generous to the general public who is
Never.
is
just so
dying
much
to be
greed.
able to be in a stadium to watch a game?
Yeah.
When is it going to be okay to say, you know what, this season, why don't we just make it affordable for any and everybody that would like to try to go?
Man, or like if you're the owner of the Knicks or Spurs, man, just, hey, I'm going to reserve 100 tickets and I'm going to go to this elementary school and I'm going to bring you and a student and a parent can come or something. You just do something.
Anything.
They may do that during regular season.
Yeah,
I don't know for sure, but they're not going to do it during the finals.
But they should.
They should, but they're not. I mean, like I said, this is a limited commodity. They want the star power because people are at home watching it on TV. They want to see Taylor Swift courtside. They want to see the stars. I think today they were showing some of the Knicks fans that are celebrities, and that's part of the attraction of people sitting at home watching an NBA Finals game is seeing who's there. At least for the women.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. And again, what I'm talking about, not necessarily giving like courtside tickets. I'm just saying like, maybe second row or second level, third level, just giving out some tickets to the general public or making it affordable. But I would also say if you did have like courtside, and they would never do this, but if you did have courtside with some school children, I think that would be more newsworthy than seeing Ben Affleck. I think, or whoever.
I'm with
you.
You.
Know what I mean?
totally agree, but I'm saying just from the news or the broadcasting part of it, they want to bring in people watching. They want ratings.
Yeah, true.
And if I'm an owner, and I would be looking for, whether it be high school, whether it be middle school or whatever, having an opportunity to find a place for those kids to be able to come to the game to get that experience. And they don't even have to be an athlete. It could be the school, whatever grade, and you just say, hey, come to the game. We have an area in which we're blocking off just for kids.
That'd be cool.
And I think that would be something special. Could you imagine, let's go back to the Jordan era, and being young enough to be just excited about him, and you're down somewhere close to the court to see him and hear his voice.
Yeah,
you would never forget that.
Yeah, you create a fan. But that's the economics of it. As far as the games, the Knicks have basically stole 2 games from San Antonio.
Sure did.
So they went to San Antonio. They're up 2-0. They were behind in the first game pretty big, came back. It was yo-yoed in the second game.
Mm-hmm.
So these have really been really, really good games. And it's been like, at least in my purview, more of a like I was saying before, like that traditional American basketball versus like a European style of basketball. And I'm a Wemby fan. I love Wemby.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's good for the game, but I am so disappointed in somebody 8 feet tall doing fadeaway jumpers from the free throw line. I mean, and again, and this is Bomani Jones. He made this point, because what we're seeing with Wemby versus Karl Anthony Towns is you're seeing a tall versus a big.
Big, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You're seeing somebody 6'10", whatever he is, 270. He looks about 280, 290 pounds, if you ask me, versus Wemby, who is, a stick. Yeah. But I also think, like I said, I'm not expecting him to go bang in the post with him. But, dude, don't be shooting 3-pointers and fadeaway jumpers. And come on, man.
But go ahead, Carl. Yeah.
The problem he has, and the reason he's shooting those kind of shots, is because he understands already, I'm not the dude who needs to be down there. I'm not.
But you are the dude who needs to be down there.
Your position puts you there. Yeah. Your height demands you being there.
Because what happens, he just has a collection of bad shots. And I'm not saying you need to dig in the post. I think you're about 20 pounds away from that. He's young, so he needs to gain. And I don't know how you do that on an 8-foot frame without affecting your feet and your tendon and your knees. But you got to figure out a different little game. You got to get some jump hooks, some sky hooks, something.
Yeah, he can't be shooting. He can't shoot. He can't have the point guard pass him the shot and pass him the ball and he takes it from the 3-point
every time.
Every time.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
But don't you think the key word is young? I mean, how old is he?
He's what, 20? 21?
21. And this is his first rodeo, right?
Yeah, first time in the dance.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's going to make some bad decisions. He's just, he's a great player, and he's done wonderful things for the Spurs. But I think that right now he's just kind of maybe, I don't know, just.
You think he's out of his water a little bit?
Yeah, maybe the spotlights are making him a little off. And
if you're the
bad
coach,
decisions.
And if you're the coach, how hard do you push him?
I think you got to push. Because I
would think so too. But
I think you got to push.
I would have thought that you might have said, you got to kind of be a little bit easy on him or whatever. Because if it's me, I'm thinking like, every time you come, look, you got to get down on the post. You got to post somebody up and get the ball and go to the hole and dunk it on it.
I would say I wouldn't even say that necessarily, because like I said, I think he's just going to have a hard time fighting for position, because Karl Anthony Towns, he's a big, strong dude.
Yeah.
You're not going to get through him. But what I'm saying is dude, if you get the ball 15 feet and in, I don't want to see fadeaways. Turn around and shoot it. Just turn around, keep the ball high, and shoot it. Ain't nobody blocking your shot, bro. There's nobody blocking it. So I just don't want to see fadeaways. I want to see, because when you're a 3-point shooter at that size and you're shooting perimeter jump shots and you have a hard time getting to the back, because again, he has a hard time creating one-on-ones because he's so tall and he's dribbling the ball so he gets his pocket picked a lot. So it's hard to get in a rhythm when you shooting those bad shots. So I'm just saying, when you get the ball in the interior, turn around and shoot. Just don't do fadeaways. That's my only.
I'm gonna watch tonight just to see if he does fadeaways, and I can just see Hollis's face at home
just
watching
no
it on
fadeaways.
TV.
That's all I ask.
Do the forehead slap. So this is just a rematch of 1999's NBA Finals, and the Spurs won that series. I think the story may end differently tonight.
So Tim Duncan's first year.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So, but how good is it to have the Knicks back in the finals? I think it's good for basketball.
I think it's great.
I think it's amazing for basketball.
Okay, I would say anytime if you have, this is just me being a little biased, and I've been told not to use the name, so I'm not going to use the name. Yeah. But I think when you have the Lakers in, I think that becomes like a major deal because I don't know what it is, at least for me. Like I remember the Lakers way back in the day, always winning and always somewhere in the championship. So that's when I think about, who's the expectation of getting to the championship. I'm thinking like Lakers.
But I'm saying like when you got.
But the Knicks were there too.
No, but I'm saying, I'm just beyond just the Knicks and his franchise. I'm saying New York City, American basketball hub. This is the birthplace. This is the center of American, or it used to be anyway, right?
Yeah.
And I just think it's a good look for the NBA to be back in MSG to have the Knicks representing, basketball. And again, I don't care who wins either way, but I wouldn't be mad if the Knicks won this.
Yeah, and
I think it'd be good for basketball.
I'm going to throw this in here, guys, because we've talked a lot about on this podcast about NBA viewership being down.
Yeah,
and the numbers are up this year. Yeah, for the finals. So Game 1 viewership was up 90% this year compared to 2025.
Yeah.
So we've gone from 8.91 viewers last year to 16.93 views this year.
And that shows you the power of not only the Knicks, but Wemby.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I was going to ask you, do you think that is that star power?
Yeah.
Is that the league as a whole?
It's a combination.
Being competitive, or
I don't
think
it's. I wouldn't say the league. I would say it's Wemby and Knicks. I think people want to see I think people like watching the Knicks, whether you hate watching or not. It's a lot of New York Knicks fans, and I know me specifically is Wemby. I want to see what the 8 foot tall dude does in the in the championship. So I think it's like the perfect storm. Yeah. Because I heard that stat earlier. You talking about 90%. I mean, that's crazy.
That's huge. I mean, the NBA is dancing all the way to the bank on
all the
that
way to the bank. No wonder the tickets are $1 million.
That's why they don't want the layman in there. They want the celebrities there and all that.
How much weight do you think he needs to gain or just be stronger?
Okay, I'll say this.
Yeah,
that's a good question.
Before he could really, because if he gets to a size that he can push back, who's going to be able to handle him? I would say just from my my conjecture would be anywhere from 15 to 20 pounds. So that way he can establish position. But I would say maybe even more than that, maybe even outside of gaining the weight, is just having a repertoire on the block or in small spaces, right? Yeah. Because maybe if you can't gain the weight, and again, this is something you got to be careful of just because he's so tall. And those tall guys can have the feet problems and the knee problems. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The hip problems and the back problems because they can't carry all their weight. So you got to be careful how you put the weight on. But even bigger than the weight is just having about 2 to 3 go-to moves in space and in position when you're in the block. So having a jump hook, having a sky hook, having a just a hard drop step, just something that you can go to.
Yeah, because he's not locked into going to the basket and just posting up. Yeah, and I think that may even be gone now for players that are that tall nobody's that tall, but if you're tall and you're muscular, you're not posting down low anymore.
I think you are. I think again, a lot of the skill set is moving away from that. You're right in that. But I think when it comes down to championship games, conference championship games, when it comes down to those critical moments, you got to have that big that's either going to be in there grabbing boards, pitting it back, or can either scrap and get some points in the basket. Because like I said, when he's out of rhythm and you're 8 foot tall and shooting 3-pointers, it's hard to get into a rhythm. Yeah. And we've seen that the past couple games. I mean, he's played decent. I'm not trying to dog him out. He's played decent. But I just think in order for him to have his full expression of dominance, you gotta have some offensive moves down there. Because defensively, he's brilliant. He changes shots.
Yeah. Nobody's going to the basket with him.
Yeah.
So do you think this is a problem that he can fix during this series, or do you feel like this is something that the Knicks are going to dominate and sweep?
I don't know. I think the Spurs can get one.
Okay.
I think the Knicks will win it. I think the Spurs can sneak one in. I don't know if he'll fix it during this series.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, I think we'll see him. I think we'll see him
All
make
season.
an effort to fix it in these next couple of games because he's got to be a dominant threat for them to win. They got some good players on the perimeter, but he's got to get going.
Yeah, I think to your point, Hollis, I think this is going to show him where his quote weaknesses are and what he might need to be better at. And I think the moment that happens, that changes his skill set and game. It takes it to a whole nother level.
100%. And he's that type of dog.
Yeah, he's going to
too.
be that. Yeah, he's going to take the time to understand what am I not doing that could make me a step or two better.
Because, I mean, even like, that's what I'm saying, even like Jordan. Jordan had all them years. He had them first 6-7 years. And then once Jordan got in the weight room, it was a different story after that. Yeah. So I think it's the same thing now. But again, it's different in that I don't know how a 8-foot dude. I don't know how I don't know how we do that as far as weights and gaining weight. I don't know.
That's a
that's
different
not going to
thing.
happen in a few days. That's for sure.
Yeah, I don't know how we do that.
But they've got to find a way to slow Jalen Brunson down too. He's been Captain Clutch, right?
Yes.
Like he's been scoring 30 points or something a game. So if they can't stop him, I don't see they may not win. They may not win a game in this series, but we'll see.
We'll see.
That's again when you go back old school basketball. What'd you have? You had somebody inside and somebody who's outside that can do the shooting. If you have that, chances are what?
Yeah,
you're probably going to win. Because you can't. I don't think that you can cover. You can defense someone that you've got down in the post, and then somebody that's got a shot.
And that's what Knicks got. Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, and the NFL, we'll move there. And it's something close to your heart. So the Bears. Now again, I didn't get the full. And
I'm
Lisa,
excited about this subject.
You can correct me.
I don't know why
you mean the Hammond Bears?
Yeah.
The Hammond Bears.
You can give us the details
I'm gonna get a
now.
shirt that
So
says the Hammond Bears.
Will they maintain? They'll still be the Chicago Bears, but
That's
just playing
what
in
they're
Indiana.
Saying.
So tell us about it.
That's what they're saying. I don't know. Okay, so basically at this point, they plan to build a new dome stadium. A dome stadium.
Oh my God.
Which
Why would they do that?
That's even harder for some of these Bears fans. That's a hard pill to swallow. It will be in an entertainment district in Hammond, Indiana. Okay.
And how far is that away from Chicago?
It's not far. I think it's 15 to 20 miles.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
it's not like it's too far away. But basically, how we got to this point is the Illinois legislature, they refused to pass property tax relief for the Bears to have a site in Arlington Heights, which is actually in Chicago, okay? Mm-hmm. So there is just mass chaos going on politically with the athletes, the cultural controversy. First of all, put sports aside. The state of Illinois is going to be losing 6,000 construction jobs and billions in economic impacts.
Taxes and all that.
All that, just because they wouldn't give them the break. So basically, they will be, at this point, the governor says that they will remain the Chicago Bears. But you think about it, they're receiving Indiana taxpayer dollars, but they'll still have the name of an Illinois, city, Chicago.
Wow. I mean, I guess it's like the New York Jets. They play in New Jersey.
Yeah, that's a point fans, of course, my Chicago Bear fans are making that point. Well, not every, team has to be from the city that they're named after, whatever. I mean, to me, it's.
But when I think of the Bears, I'm thinking cold weather, not saying
that's
I don't know why they
Field.
would. Let me ask you this. Do you think that's a strategic disadvantage for them building a dome?
Absolutely.
Why would you do that?
Absolutely. Because nobody.
Well, ask
for
the Vikings.
us in Minnesota, yeah.
But it's different, though.
But here, okay.
Yeah.
But to
Is it
your
different?
point, I
The
think
weather's
so.
way worse in Minnesota.
Yeah,
than
it's way
Chicago,
worse.
Right?
So
I don't know.
I don't think they're all north. I mean, Green Bay's bad.
But the good thing about anybody coming to Minnesota in the winter is we'll be inside. So to me,
your advantage is
our advantage. We know we're going to be inside. We only have a couple games.
But is that an advantage to you, or that's advantage to that equals the playing field, right?
It does equal it.
Yeah.
But again, thinking about going to Chicago and you start talking about November, December, bro, you already know like it's going to be cold. We're practicing outside because we're preparing for how cold it's going to be there.
I think it hurts that conference because now you got 2 games. You got Minnesota indoors.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago's going to be indoors. Detroit indoors. The only ones who's outdoors is Lambeau.
Yep.
Green Bay.
Yep.
So I think to me they're going to have the advantage.
I think
in that situation.
And it's part of their lore, you know. I mean, these are the founding fathers of NFL. Up
You
there,
can't let,
you know.
and
you
see,
can't
this
stick
is
them
bad
in a
government.
building.
It really is.
This is bad government. I gotta say it.
It doesn't
feel right.
It doesn't feel good at
Hurts
all
my
to
soul.
me. It does. As much as I hated to go play one of those teams in the winter, I can't imagine like literally almost every team in the conference being indoors. Mm-hmm. You know, and now you're like, well, shoot, we're indoors here all basically year round.
So did and I need to do a little bit more research on the subject. Did the Chicago Bears, did they want to build an indoor stadium in Chicago, or they wanted to keep it outside?
Yeah, excuse me. No, they wanted it. They wanted the dome.
So they want a dome regardless
they
of where
want
it
the
was.
dome
Yeah.
regardless of where it is. They just wanted it to be actually in Illinois in a place called Arlington Heights, I believe it was.
Okay. So why again, this is, I guess,
It was the legislature.
why want the dome? Why want the dome? I guess they just want to have a clean football. They don't want to play it outside anymore. To your point, this is like historic. This has seemed like something that the league would step in and say, "Come on, hold on."
See, and I think this is.
Was the weather that bad?
Yeah.
I think the ownership and/or leadership of the team has changed. You know, has probably changed, and so you don't have that history. You don't have the mystique of what it was like to go to.
It's about
Chicago.
money. It's about money.
Yeah.
They want a bigger stadium with a dome where fans will come when it's cold to the game, regardless of what the weather is. They know they're going to be warm, okay?
Yeah.
They're going to have all these entertainment hotspots built around the stadium. Soldier Field doesn't have all that. Soldier Field is an old field, kind of like Lambeau Field is. And, you know, they want to upgrade to bring in more money and more fans, in my opinion.
Now,
That makes sense.
I haven't heard from any of their great former players saying anything as of yet. I was looking for that, but I hadn't heard anybody like a Singletary or somebody like that, what his comments or what their comments may be. Because I'm thinking I think what you've done is it's like you just stuck a knife in what they believed in playing in that cold. Because we did the same thing. We did the same thing to Carl Eller and Alan Page and all those kind of guys that were playing out in the cold. All of a sudden, you know, you go dome,
that advantage is gone. I mean, you think about it. If you have Jacksonville coming north, or a team from California, I mean, that's an advantage because you play in that all the time, and they don't.
Yeah.
So
do you have we need to bring like a former Chicago Bear on the show to figure to see what their like the insider thoughts are, because to me, I see it both ways from like a business standpoint. Obviously, you know, that's there, but from a historical, and like I said, just an advantage because have any team like far as that went from those colder teams specifically that went from outdoor to indoor. Have they won a championship?
I don't
know. Minnesota hasn't.
We haven't.
Buffalo was outdoor.
Lions,
Buffalo's still outdoor, right?
Buffalo's outdoors. Lions
haven't. They haven't. You know, like do they? You know, is Seattle? They're outdoor, right?
They're out.
They're out.
No, they're indoor.
They're indoor.
I think they're indoor. Yeah,
Okay.
I think they're indoor.
So maybe
But
they
their
did.
weather's not as
But
severe.
there's
I mean,
just
they
more
don't have
rain.
the
It's more rain.
I can see why they would want to do it. That makes sense. But it just seems like, dang, man, in November you got to travel to Chicago. Now you don't have the
you don't have to worry about
I think
that.
it takes the mystique away from the NFC North. I mean, but now that
it's
we
not
have
the North no more. Really.
it's it can be anywhere.
Yeah, because
temperature control,
just from the guys,
climate controlled NFC.
Just from some of the former players for the Vikings who were, who played outdoors and you know, if you were to ask them, I'm assuming this, you couldn't get them to say they would want to play indoors.
I mean,
because that's exactly right. They believe that cold, they could endure it, and play like normal. Where the other team's over there like freezing, trying to figure out how they're going to make it through till halftime.
Yeah,
you know. And I think
I just wonder if that means Lambeau's time is like limited now. Like,
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
That's people controlled.
You know what though?
And
I hope you're right. But I think at the end of the day, when you start looking around and you looking at all these places that get cold, all of them have gone indoors. If you think like, well, we're going to be the one that's going to stay outdoors, I don't think that's the thought process. I think that is going along with the norm. We should be considering getting a dome or something for our team.
I don't think so because the Packers are owned by the people.
They're owned by the people.
You know,
that's
we don't have an owner, so to speak, that's going to try to.
Too.
Plus,
that's
if you've been there, I don't know if you guys ever been. Well, you have.
Yeah.
But I mean that's the center of Green Bay. I mean that is their whole life. They shut the city down to run the KRT buses to the field.
Wow.
Like literally, it's it's just. And it's a great atmosphere.
And they're natural grass still too, right?
Natural grass.
Yes.
So that'll be the last team in the NFC North with natural grass
right.
as well. So all the other teams that have
I didn't even think about that.
You know, the field
Hate
turf.
that for the Vikings.
They literally have field turf and a dome, and that'll be the last team. So again, if you're a Green Bay fan, this might be to y'all's advantage.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to go to Green Bay now.
Oh yeah, nobody's gonna be used to it.
No.
October through December, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, it always is.
Yeah.
So, what else do we have here going?
WVU.
WVU.
Yeah, we could talk about WU or the basketball.
Let's go basketball.
Yeah,
we'll
let's talk about that because
Okay.
Hollis, you brought this up. The WVSSAC made some changes to the boys' high school
Yes.
basketball. Can you kind of
Well,
summarize it? Or?
and again, I'm not an expert, but it's been a lot of changes as far as they changed the regional makeup because I know they took the coaches out of it. Am I correct? They took the coaches because now, like when you had those regional rankings, the situation that happened on Capitol last year,
They have an oversight committee.
Yeah, where the Capitol was like basically number one team, number two team in the state. Then what happened is that when they go to regional seeding, they got ranked at the bottom because you had some coaches collusion, which I still don't know how we just are not doing
Just
anything about
ignored
that.
it,
Just
right.
ignoring that. But now you could probably bust down the details for me. So
So that was the main one. I think that was of most interest to everybody because of what happened to Capitol this past spring. There's also a mercy rule, which I found this was pretty interesting. So if a team, two high school teams are playing, and one team is up 35 or more points. If there's a score differential, when you get to the fourth quarter, they shorten it to 4 minutes. They don't do that now, right? I don't have a problem with that. What's your problem with it?
I would say like if it was 50, but I think 35. You can come back in basketball.
In high school,
you can come back if you get hot.
I think it depends.
That's 10 3-pointers.
But also it's
That's a beat
timing.
down.
I think it's the timing. But and unfortunately, Hollis, I'm gonna have to go with you.
What?
I know that's a shame.
See, I knew this mood before the show would just carry over, and you guys would just gang up on me. But it's okay.
I just don't know if I'm okay with like that. I just play the game, finish it out.
It's finish the game at that point. I mean,
but you have some of these schools that barely can field a team, and let's say they've scheduled, and this is just far fetched, but they've scheduled Capitol to play. And they're down, the first half by, 35 points. I
put the blame on. I put the I don't know if I want to say blame, but the obligation to the team that's winning to empty the bench and play other players in that situation.
But even then, sometimes the other team, the only guys they have are the guys that are on the court. You think about some of these smaller high schools.
Well, my thing is I don't have a problem with the mercy rule. I just have a problem with the point that they're saying. Like, if you're down by 50, then fine. But I think
35.
But I think 35 you can come back from. 35 if you're down 70 to 35 going into the fourth quarter, you can come back from that.
And I wonder if it's up to the coach. Like, does the coach want to implement? Like,
Yeah,
let's
who makes
say,
that decision?
Yeah, like, is it automatic? I didn't get that far.
Well, I know football is automatic. Like, so if you're down by certain percentages going into the fourth, it's automatic.
I would think the coach would have a say if whether or not they wanted to follow the Mercer. I don't know. That's just what I read. That'd be interesting to find out if that's the case. But
and then the transfer rule, another rule they changed again. We talked about that, so that'll be changed. I want to say June.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's,
I think you're right.
Yeah, so that changed this month. So
Tell me what the changes. Tell me what. So
essentially, what happens now is that you can transfer during freshman and sophomore year. Mm-hmm. So you're free to transfer. You're free to and you won't lose eligibility. But if you transfer during your junior and senior year, then you would lose eligibility unless you had some sort of extenuating circumstances. So that's kind of the nuts and bolts of the rule. So basically, I think what they're trying to prevent is upperclassmen is from leaving their established program going to other programs.
What's your take on it? What do you like it?
I mean, again, this goes into a much deeper conversation beyond sports, because I think that we're doing one thing on one hand and then doing this on the other, which is problematic when you talk about school choice.
Good point.
But I think as a whole, I understand it. And again, you're always going to have the appeal process. So if there's something going on where you have to leave, or it's not a good situation, and I think it's some loopholes in there. Like if your coach leave, or if you got different things going on like that, then you can go ahead and go. But so I'm kind of like just in the middle on it. I don't really have a problem with it either way.
See, I think for me, I'd like to make the case that I would give you 1 year to make a decision if you. So I'm at South Charleston High School for 1 year, my freshman year. So if I don't like anything about it, I can go somewhere else. Okay. After that, and this is in sports, so I could go somewhere. But if I'm going to if I stay for 2 years, you can't go. Why are you trying to go somewhere? I mean, and not that you're even trying to go somewhere. Why would you go somewhere after 2 years, especially unless you're a baller? Now, because you can go play anywhere you want, right? Because you're good. Yeah. But the kid that's not that talented, he can't go anywhere.
I mean, he can if you want to. If you
and go from one bench to the next.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
and who wants to do that?
But I mean, I think there's situations in which, like I said, if it depends on the offense, the defense, if there's a new coach coming in, it depends on situation, because like I said, all programs are not created equal, and all coaches aren't created equal. So I could see a situation in which a kid would need to leave in order to, fulfill his.
If we're talking straight sports, I'm with you. If you're talking life lessons, I can't go with you, and you wouldn't either. Because at the end of the day,
but again, this is what it is. It's not like this is
better
happening
than
at the
it
college.
was.
It's happening at the college level and everything. So this is what it is.
And I think I'm just old enough and old school enough to where I still think that sports should still be about life lessons. And sometimes you got it. You might have a job that you may not like, but you can't leave it. You're stuck in it.
Not necessarily. You can get another job.
You might, but you may not get what you want. All those kind of things.
But that's the life lesson too. The life lesson is just like if you go from one place to the next. Hey, the grass may not be greener.
Yeah.
And you may just fall off a cliff there. And now you got to regroup again.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
But
it's life lessons either way.
To that though, I'm looking at it and saying, I'm going to this elementary, this middle school, this high school because I live in this particular area. I'm going to play sports for this team, that team, and that team because that's what the team is associated with the school.
But it's not that way anymore. Not with social media. All these kids know each other.
I understand that.
There's not the strong loyalty ties that there used to be because all these kids all know each other.
And you can't even like sort of enter the argument that way because that's just not what it is no more.
No.
What are you going? My question. So when you transfer, what is the motive
It could be a motive. It could be a different offense, different defense, better playing time. You want to play with your buddies over here. It could be. It doesn't. To me, the reason doesn't really matter. It just could be for whatever
better
reason that you
training
deem.
facilities.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be a majority.
But
I
it
mean,
may not matter.
May not matter.
It may not matter.
No.
But you could put yourself in a situation that could be way worse than what
And
it
that's
is right
the life
now.
lesson. It's life lessons no
Yeah.
matter how you go at this. So you can put yourself in where you make a good decision, or you can. And I've seen a bunch of kids that just are trying to transfer back because they made a wrong decision. So it's going to be a life lesson regardless of how you do your analysis to move.
Do we know somebody who transferred that truly benefited more than what they would have done if they'd have stayed?
I know a couple
Rudy?
kids. I mean, a couple kids transfer. I know several. I ain't gonna say several, but I know 2 or 3 kids that definitely benefited more. They transferred out of state, transferred to schools, in different states that seems to have benefited, put themselves more on a national platform.
Mm-hmm.
I know some kids locally who transferred, and it appears as though they're doing better at their new school as far as they're getting scholarship offers. Like now,
Would they have not?
that's maybe, I don't know that part,
Yeah.
but it appears they're doing better. You know what I'm saying? So it appears that in some situations it's worked out. Other kids it hasn't worked out. Yeah. So like I said, it's just like I said. I think the problem that we're facing is a problem in which, we're seeing, to Lisa's point, you seeing these things happen at the youth level, and then you have social media and all these things. So the thought process of kids living in a neighborhood, they don't live and they're not bound to that neighborhood anymore. They're bound to, I would like to say, almost the world, because they're seeing the world. So they're seeing their buddies. They're getting friendship with kids halfway across the county. So it's not like it was
Travel ball.
Yeah, travel ball. So I think, to me, and that's a different show. That's kind of the heart of the issue and the problem. So,
Well, there was one more piece, guys, that we'll run over real quick that I saw that kind of stood out to me. They're kind of redistricting, so to speak, the AAA classes. Did you see that?
Yeah.
So instead of having a region, like they had 4 regions, they've combined region 1 and 2 and making that the North region. And then they're combining 3 and 4 to make a South region, which makes sense geographically. They're pretty much in line, North and South schools together. Yeah. But my question for you guys is that going to affect who goes to the Coliseum in March for the boys basketball tournament?
I think it does.
I was going to say,
because they're doing it like the Quad A, right?
Yeah,
They're doing the Quad A. So I think it will.
Yeah, I don't know how it wouldn't.
Yeah,
because now these are conference teams.
Right.
That you're playing, and
so
if you lose,
less opportunities for these kids to make playoffs because there's less regionals, right? I don't know.
But I think and maybe we could bring somebody from the WVSSAC to kind of break it down more detail. But I think they're just trying to, because I know it mirrors the Quad A.
Yeah, I did say that.
I know, like Quad A, they have like the top ranked teams. They'll have buys in the regional, different things of that nature. So I think it'll all equal out. It's just you're going to be playing within your regional, not have to like for example, Capital wouldn't have to go to like North Marion or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It
just keeps you in your areas.
Stay in your area, lessen the travel.
And I think in playoff time, I think especially on the high school level, I do like the closeness, the regional
I like that
play.
More rivalries that way.
Because now you're facing rivals and all that kind of stuff. And then the travel is not impacting winning and losing a lot of times. And then once you get out of the conference, now it's fair game.
I don't know. I like to see us do like Kentucky and just have like a big jambalaya of all the teams across all the different divisions and levels, and just come to the Coliseums and play it out. Have a grand champion.
That'd be
level.
Wild.
Yeah, I'm saying no level, just like Kentucky. Everybody just come, you just play it out. I think we talked about it when Justin was here, to have you'll have like your crown champion for like single A, double A, triple A, quad A.
Oh, then
but eventually everybody gonna play, and then you just have one grand champion. Like, I would like to see it like that.
That would be cool.
Yeah, because you're gonna have some at times.
You might have that mercy rule come in handy at that case.
especially.
But it depends, because when you got the private schools, and maybe they can get a big couple kids. Because with basketball, you got to remember, this ain't football. You just need one. You need one dude. You don't need a whole bunch.
And if you fool around and have a player that can play down low and one that can shoot threes,
you might be okay.
You're going to be all right.
You're going to be a tough team to play with.
You got a couple kids who got one that can rebound and a couple that can shoot. Hey, man,
and
you never know.
You would pull in some big crowds for that, I think.
I'm telling you.
Having the champions play each other would be great.
Well, okay, to the crowd, do we need to do some of these things specifically to grow the crowds? Have the crowds? Do you think that the crowds have kind of like declined a little bit? And do we need to do these things in order to?
To Lisa's point, I just think it's an opportunity to take full advantage of the weekend. I'm saying if we're going to be here for that week, and then we got those championship games on that Saturday and Sunday, let's move them to that Monday. And I'm saying I couldn't imagine people just say, let's go ahead and just school's out for this day, and let's take advantage of everything that we got going. And I think it would be crazy.
So you going all the way to like school's out on Monday?
School's just
why not?
This is it.
We can do it.
This would be awesome, man.
Oh, maybe it'll happen.
Have women have the girls and the boys games grand champions. This would be awesome.
Pull in more money, too.
Yeah.
I mean, you have people staying in hotels that don't live in the area. I mean, it's a
Oh,
win-win.
it's the money. It's money. That's money everywhere.
And you're just talking about 4
moneymaker.
more games. Well, it would be 6 more games. But so, and the last WVU baseball.
Yeah, can we talk about the baseball games? Have you guys watched any?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. It's amazing, isn't it, what they're doing in Morgantown? I mean, they first of all, they made history by hosting a super regional with, having that team. Well, who was it? Oh, anyway, thank you. I had a moment. And then, so now they're going to Omaha, and it looks like they're going to play the Troy Trojans on Friday. That'll be broadcast on ESPN at 2:00, June 12th. Big game.
Huge.
And
That's
this
huge.
Well, this is
on
the
ESPN.
first time ever they've been to the College World Series.
And it just shows you, man, anytime any sport is as good in WVU, I just love how they make a big deal out of it. And it just becomes Morgantown has a way of amplifying everything. Right?
They do.
I would give you
the
that.
basketball, the football, the rifle team. So it just shows kind of the important. And again, we had the same issue as far as up there with the baseball, with them like trying to what is it? With the ticket prices.
Oh yeah.
Ticket prices gouging.
Real quick, let me tell you what's going on with Omaha.
Yeah.
So the WVU ticket office, they announced, I think it was just today, that they can only fulfill ticket requests for the Mountaineer Athletic Club members that are at or above $50,000 annual donation.
Oh my God!
If you're not 50 or above, they advise you to call the NCAA or go to the NCAA website.
My gosh.
So right there.
What it is.
Yeah. So anyway, but it's going to be exciting, I think. There's some people going to Omaha that I know that
definitely
don't donate.
And we travel.
Right.
That's the thing with WVU. WVU travels. They'll travel.
And you can't. And that's and of course everybody knows I'm the Marshall guy, but that's one thing that you can't take away from WVU, and that is the fan base, and they're willing to go anywhere. Everywhere to see anything play. Anything that's WVU, they're willing to travel for.
Yeah.
And it's been really special to see them sing Country Roads. And it was even on, I think, the NBC Nightly News or one of the major news outlets. They did like a feel-good story about the baseball, and they had the clip of all the fans and the baseball team singing Country Roads together. It was pretty cool.
Think they'll win.
I hope so.
I
that
hope
would be
so.
awesome if they did that.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
And no matter who you are, if you live in the state, you almost have to say you would want them to win.
I would think
100%.
so.
Yeah. Just for the sake of it is WVU and it is home. It is where we all grew up and all that kind of good stuff. So I'll say good luck to all those players, coaches, managers, all of those kind of folks. And
let's go Mountaineers.
I can't say that.
Yes, you can. We all can. We all can.
I can't go that far.
Oh my gosh!
I cannot go that far.
Shame on you.
I wish
Shame
him luck.
on Mr.
I
Z.
wish him luck. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get out of here before she talks me into that. We will see you again next week.
You gotta work grind, shine, it's mine. Gotta show everybody it's my time. Getting here, you gotta work, grind, shine. Never mind who talking down, cause they lying. Don't talk, you gotta work. You gotta work. You gotta work. You gotta work, yeah. You gotta work, yeah. You gotta work. I'm going hard like Kobe inside the gym. I'm a diamond in the dirt, a hidden gem. Going for greatness, I gotta win by any means, cause I don't know when I'll be back again. Going hard, I gotta get it, man, I can't even lie. I put in so much sweat, my body running dry. I shed so many tears, now I don't wanna cry. Now it's coming easy to me, all I had to do was try. I had to work, push myself through it even though I knew it hurt. Long as you do it right, it don't matter who do it first. Never sell yourself short, know your worth. I knew I wasn't winning since birth. I had to work, grind, shine, it's mine. Gotta show everybody it's my time. Getting here, you gotta work, grind, shine. Never mind who talking down, cause they lying. Don't talk, you gotta work. You gotta work. You gotta work. You gotta work, yeah. You gotta work, yeah. You gotta work. I knew I'd be a legend if I put in the time. Never quit, never give up if you falling behind. Anything you work for comes to you by design. Obstacles will never stop you cause it's all in your mind. If you fall, dust it off and get back up on your feet. Anything could be a win, yup, even defeat. They say sugar bad for you, why is victory sweet? Couldn't play with big kids, I had to sit in the street and watch from a distance. But over time I grew. If I put in the work, in no time I'm due. Everything that I worked and prayed, I'm okay. If you ask me, how did I do it, I'm gon' say, you gotta work, grind, shine, it's mine. Gotta show everybody it's my time.